Ladies and gentlemen, every morning when we awaken, we are given something priceless, something so valuable that no amount of money could ever buy it. We are handed a brand new day, a blank page in the story of our lives. And yet too often we trade these golden hours for worry, for hurry, or for the illusion that happiness lies somewhere in tomorrow. But the truth is, this life is not waiting for us in the distance. It is here, now, in this very breath, in this very moment. To enjoy life every day is not only possible, it is our responsibility, for this day will never come again. The key lies in how we think. Our thoughts shape our world, and what we dwell upon expands. Most people spend their time thinking about what they lack, what they fear, or what they resent, and they wonder why joy seems elusive. But the men and women who discover contentment know that joy is found by directing the mind toward gratitude, opportunity, and beauty in the ordinary. When we shift our thoughts, the world itself begins to shift. Happiness does not come from some grand achievement in the future. It is found in progress itself, in the steady movement toward a worthy ideal. If you are moving toward something meaningful, you are already successful, and every step can be savored. To enjoy life each day is to recognize that the journey is just as important as the destination. Consider the small blessings, the warmth of sunlight, the voice of a friend, the work that challenges us to grow. These simple moments, when noticed, become treasures. The tragedy is not that life is short. The tragedy is that we often wait too long to begin truly living it. We postpone joy as if tomorrow is guaranteed. But tomorrow is only a promise. Today is real, and it is enough. To enjoy life every day also requires discipline. Discipline to guard our minds against negative influences, to refuse the easy path of complaint, and to cultivate the habit of appreciation. Freedom and fulfillment are not born of chance. They are born of choosing thoughts and actions that align with our highest values. It is in the practice of daily gratitude, daily effort, and daily awareness that life becomes something rich and rewarding. So let us decide here and now to live this day with joy. Let us choose to see the beauty around us, to be grateful for what we have, and to pursue our goals with determination. For when we learn to enjoy life every day, we unlock its deepest secret. That happiness is not something we chase, but something we create, moment by moment, thought by thought, day by day. There is a truth we often overlook, a truth so close at hand that we fail to see it each day as a miracle presented to us without cost. We rise, we breathe, we open our eyes to a world that never repeats itself, a world that changes with every passing hour. Yet, instead of marveling at this extraordinary gift, we hurry into routines, into habits that numb us to the wonder of living. We treat the dawn as if it were a burden, when in reality it is an invitation to live, to learn, to discover, and to grow. The clock begins ticking the moment we awaken, and what we choose to do with those hours will determine not only the quality of the day, but the quality of our entire life. To enjoy life every day does not mean chasing thrills or seeking endless entertainment. It is something deeper, more profound, and far more enduring. It means recognizing that the present moment is all we ever truly possess, and that hidden within each moment are opportunities to enrich ourselves and others. Too many people spend their lives waiting for the weekend, for a promotion, for the right person, for retirement, as if joy can only be delivered by some future event. But the irony is that when those moments arrive, they too are squandered because the habit of waiting has taken root. Joy is not found in postponement. It is found in the deliberate act of living now. The first step is awareness. How often do we go about our daily routines without truly noticing them? We eat, but we do not taste. We walk, but we do not observe. We hear, but we do not listen. Life becomes a blur of tasks rather than an experience to be savored. To awaken fully to life means to engage with it. The sound of birdsong in the morning, the smile of a child, the effort of meaningful work. These are not trivial details. They are the very essence of existence. When we train ourselves to notice, we begin to discover joy not as an accident, but as a choice. Yet awareness alone is not enough. To enjoy life every day also requires intention. Every person must decide what kind of day they will have before it unfolds. Will it be wasted in complaint, or will it be invested in gratitude? Will it be consumed by fear, or will it be directed by purpose? Attitude is the foundation upon which the day is built. When you choose a positive attitude, you do not merely brighten your own path. You influence the atmosphere around you. Others respond differently. Opportunities reveal themselves more clearly, and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. There is also a discipline in enjoyment. Strange as it may sound, learning to enjoy life requires effort. It is easier to drift into negativity, to complain, to focus on what is missing, but it takes strength to see what is present and appreciate it fully. This discipline is not about ignoring challenges or pretending problems do not exist. It is about refusing to allow them to dominate the day. Every life has obstacles, every person faces setbacks, but joy comes not from the absence of difficulty. It comes from mastering the art of meeting difficulty with courage and perspective. And what of success? Many believe that they cannot be happy until they achieve some external measure of success. But success is not a point on the horizon, it is the very movement toward it. Each step you take in the direction of a worthy goal is success, and each step can be enjoyed. When you realize this, you stop waiting for happiness and start experiencing it daily. You discover that fulfillment lies not in the grand arrival, but in the steady progress. Consider the alternative: a life spent in anticipation. Always hoping the next season will bring satisfaction, always deferring happiness until conditions are perfect. Such a life is wasted because conditions are never perfect. There will always be challenges, always unfinished tasks, always uncertainties. If happiness depends upon eliminating them, it will never come. But when you accept life as it is, imperfect, unpredictable, but rich with possibility, you free yourself to enjoy it here and now. The greatest tragedy is not that life is short, but that we so often wait too long to begin living it. The days pass, each one carrying with it the potential for meaning, for joy, for growth. Once gone, they cannot be retrieved. That is why the choice must be made today. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. To open your eyes to the blessings that surround you, to shape your attitude with intention, to meet the hours with gratitude and purpose. When you do this, life transforms before your very eyes. Ordinary days become extraordinary, and what once seemed routine becomes a source of wonder. This is the essence of learning to enjoy life every day. It is not about changing the world outside you, but about changing the way you see it, the way you respond to it, the way you choose to live within it. The opportunity is here now, waiting for you to claim it. All that is required is awareness, intention, and the courage to embrace this day as the priceless gift it truly is. Thought is the architect of destiny. What occupies the mind eventually shapes the life, and every achievement or failure can be traced back to the quality of ideas that are allowed to take root. Each day, countless thoughts flow through the mind, yet only those we dwell upon gain power. It is here, in the realm of thinking, that the secret to enjoying life daily is uncovered. To see joy consistently reflected in the outer world, the inner world must first be cultivated with care. A garden will only yield the flowers that are planted and nourished. If weeds are left unattended, they will overrun the soil. The same law governs the human mind. If one sows negativity, fear, or resentment, those seeds will grow. But if one sows gratitude, optimism, and constructive purpose, a harvest of peace and joy is inevitable. The majority of people live unaware of this principle. They believe life happens to them, that circumstances control their fate, that the world outside dictates their happiness. But life is not a matter of luck or accident, it is a reflection of sustained thought. Those who expect little usually receive little, because expectation directs behavior, and behavior shapes results. Conversely, those who cultivate positive and determined thinking find that doors open, opportunities emerge, and even obstacles become stepping stones. This is not chance. It is the natural outcome of thought aligned with intention. To enjoy life every day, then, is to become vigilant about what occupies the mind. Every complaint, every worry, every negative assumption takes energy away from joy. These thoughts are costly. They drain enthusiasm and diminish the ability to notice what is good. Imagine a person walking through a beautiful garden, but focusing only on the weeds. They leave disheartened, convinced the garden is barren, when in truth it is full of blossoms they never saw. Many live this way, blind to blessings because their eyes are fixed on flaws. The mind becomes a lens, and through that lens the entire world is interpreted. Choose a lens of gratitude, and even the simplest day glows with significance. Choose a lens of negativity, and even abundance feels empty. Guarding the mind requires discipline. It means refusing to indulge in gossip, in envy, and destructive comparisons. It means deliberately replacing negative thought patterns with constructive ones. This is not easy work. It demands awareness and persistence. But just as muscles grow stronger with exercise, the mind grows sharper and more resilient when trained. Over time, positivity becomes natural, not forced. Joy flows not because life is perfect, but because perception has been trained to see the best in what is given. There is also power in repetition. A single positive thought may not change much, but thoughts repeated consistently carve pathways in the brain. These pathways form habits, and habits become character. When the mind is conditioned to return again and again to gratitude, hope, and purpose, life itself begins to take on these qualities. Each day becomes an opportunity to reinforce this pattern. Reading uplifting material, surrounding oneself with encouraging voices, reflecting on achievements, and setting clear goals, all of these practices strengthen the mind's ability to hold joy. Consider also the importance of imagination. The mind has the ability to picture outcomes before they occur. This is not fantasy but creative power. By envisioning a better day, a better self, a better future, the imagination directs energy and action toward making those visions real. People who picture failure often create the very conditions they fear, while those who picture success inspire themselves to act in ways that bring it closer. Every day holds the potential to be lived twice, once in the mind through vision, and once in reality through action. When the vision is guided by positivity, the lived experience is enriched. To neglect the mind is to surrender control of life. To direct the mind is to reclaim that control. Each morning presents a choice to allow random, unguarded thoughts to dictate the day, or to consciously guide thinking toward what uplifts and strengthens. The first path leads to confusion, dissatisfaction, and wasted hours. The second leads to clarity, purpose, and the quiet joy of knowing that each moment is being used well. This discipline of thought is not restrictive. It is liberating. It frees one from the tyranny of worry and opens the door to daily enjoyment. The truth is inescapable. What we think about, we become. The individual who fills the mind with fear becomes anxious. The one who fills it with anger becomes bitter. But the one who fills it with constructive goals, gratitude, and faith in possibility becomes joyful, purposeful, and resilient. To enjoy life every day is not about manipulating circumstances, it is about directing thought. For circumstances may be beyond control, but thought always lies within reach. And when thought is mastered, life itself becomes a canvas painted with joy. Progress is one of the most satisfying experiences available to a human being. To wake each day and know that you are moving forward, even if only by a small step, gives meaning to time and purpose to effort. There is a certain energy that flows into life when a person has direction, and that energy itself becomes a source of daily joy. It is not the arrival at some distant finish line that brings the deepest satisfaction, but the steady movement toward it. Each goal, no matter how large, is achieved by a succession of ordinary days well lived, and when those days are appreciated, life becomes rich not at the end but throughout the journey. Many believe they will be happy once they have achieved wealth, recognition, or some personal milestone. They delay their joy, holding it hostage to the future. But when they finally reach the destination, they find themselves strangely dissatisfied. For the thrill fades quickly and the habit of postponement remains. The truth is that fulfillment comes not from the possession of the goal, but from the pursuit of it. The artist finds joy in creating, the student in learning, the builder in shaping, the parent in guiding. These are processes, not endpoints. To enjoy life each day, one must learn to find satisfaction in the act of becoming rather than merely in the act of having. This perspective requires a change in how success is understood. Success is not a sudden victory, but the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. The moment you choose a goal that matters to you and begin moving toward it, you have already succeeded. Every hour invested in that direction is a victory. Every obstacle overcome is a triumph, and every lesson learned along the way is part of the reward. Seen this way, the ordinary day is transformed into a series of meaningful steps. What once seemed dull becomes purposeful, because each action connects to something greater. Think of the person training for a marathon. The race itself may last only a few hours, but the training stretches across months. If that runner waits until race day to experience joy, most of the journey will be lost to frustration. But if they learn to value each run, each improvement in stamina, each test of discipline, then the entire process becomes rewarding. The same is true in every area of life. The lawyer studying cases late at night, the musician practicing scales, the entrepreneur refining an idea. All of them must learn to enjoy the daily effort, for it is in the effort that growth occurs. There is also an educational aspect to progress. Each step forward teaches something that could not have been learned otherwise. Setbacks are not signs of failure but lessons carved into the path of success. A mistake provides clarity, revealing what does not work and pointing the way to what might. When these lessons are embraced instead of feared, life itself becomes a school where every experience adds to wisdom. Joy arises not because everything is easy, but because even difficulty serves a purpose. Each day offers a chance to become more capable, more resilient, more prepared for what lies ahead. In this way, progress nourishes the spirit. The act of working towards something meaningful produces momentum, and momentum generates enthusiasm. You begin to awaken with energy, because you know the day will count. Even small steps, a page written, a lesson learned, a plan refined, build upon one another, compounding into results that once seemed impossible. And with each step, confidence grows. You no longer doubt your ability to reach the destination, because the evidence of steady progress surrounds you. But progress is not automatic, it must be chosen. A person without goals drifts, and drifting rarely brings joy. Without direction, the days blend into one another, each one resembling the last, and time is wasted. Goals provide focus, and focus provides meaning. To enjoy life every day, one must choose something worth striving for, and then dedicate effort toward it consistently. That choice alone lifts life above the ordinary, because it transforms existence from random motion into purposeful action. The remarkable thing is that progress can be enjoyed regardless of external conditions. Even in hardship, even when resources are limited, the act of advancing toward a goal generates satisfaction. It might be learning a skill in the quiet hours after work, saving a small amount each week toward a dream, or improving health through daily discipline. These may appear minor in the moment, but they create an unshakable sense of purpose. Joy is not reserved for those who have everything. It belongs to those who are becoming something more than they were yesterday. When you recognize that happiness is tied to progress, you are freed from the illusion that joy is always somewhere else, waiting in the distance. You see that it is available now, in the very act of living with intention. Each day offers the chance to grow, to contribute, to learn, and to move closer to the life you envision. And it is in these movements, these steps forward, that life reveals its deepest rewards. There are treasures hidden in the ordinary moments of every day. Treasures that so often go unnoticed because the mind is occupied with what is missing rather than what is present. The light that streams through the window at dawn. The laughter of a child echoing through a room. The effort put into a task that challenges your ability. These are not insignificant details. They are life itself revealing its richness. Yet many pass them by without pause, convinced that joy can only be found in extraordinary events. The truth is the extraordinary is disguised as the ordinary, waiting to be recognized by eyes that are truly awake. The practice of noticing is not passive. It is an active decision to engage with life, to open the senses and the heart to the simple blessings that surround us. Too many people live as though happiness must be imported from the outside, through wealth, through recognition, through some grand achievement. But those who train themselves to see the value in small blessings understand that joy is available at no cost every single day. A quiet walk, the sound of music, the satisfaction of completing a day's work. These moments hold more power to elevate the spirit than most realize. Why then do so many miss them? Because the habit of postponement is strong. People wait for the weekend to relax, wait for vacation to smile, wait for retirement to live. But life is not a rehearsal. It is happening now. Each day lost to waiting is gone forever. The mind becomes so preoccupied with tomorrow that it fails to embrace today. And in doing so, it overlooks the abundance already present. The habit of waiting is a thief, stealing the joy of the present under the promise of a better future that may never come. The truth is that appreciation must be cultivated, much like a skill. At first, it may feel forced to stop and notice the taste of a meal, the warmth of sunlight, the kindness in another's words. But with practice, appreciation becomes natural, a way of seeing the world. When this perspective takes root, the ordinary day transforms. What was once ignored becomes a source of wonder, and what was once taken for granted becomes cherished. The practice of appreciation shifts the focus from scarcity to abundance, from complaint to gratitude, and in that shift, joy is discovered. Consider the individual who rises early for work. To some, this routine is a burden, a dreary necessity. But another may see the same morning as an opportunity, the chance to earn, to grow, to contribute, to build. The circumstances are identical, but the perception differs, and it is perception that determines experience. When the mind chooses to notice what is good, even obligation can become privilege. Work becomes not just a duty, but a chance to create value. Time with family becomes not just a daily occurrence, but a sacred gift. Even rest becomes not just inactivity, but a vital renewal. This way of living does not deny difficulty. Hardship is real and challenges must be faced. But even in hardship, blessings exist. The strength gained by overcoming, the wisdom earned through mistakes, the resilience developed by endurance. All of these are blessings hidden within difficulty. When the mind is trained to look for them, even pain becomes a teacher. This is not to romanticize suffering, but to recognize that life offers meaning in every circumstance if one chooses to seek it. To truly enjoy life every day, one must reject the illusion that happiness lies in extraordinary events alone. While great achievements and milestones are worth celebrating, they are infrequent. The bulk of life is composed of ordinary days, and if those days are not appreciated, most of life is lost. But if those days are cherished, then life itself becomes extraordinary, because joy is experienced not just in rare moments but in every moment. There is a quiet power in this perspective. The individual who learns to see blessings in the ordinary cannot be easily shaken by external events. Their joy does not depend on the unpredictable turns of fate, but on their own ability to recognize and appreciate what they already have. This stability brings peace, and this peace deepens joy. Every day becomes enough, not because it is perfect, but because it is valued. The ability to notice small blessings is available to anyone, regardless of circumstance. It does not require wealth, position, or privilege. It requires only awareness and gratitude. Each morning presents a choice to rush through the day blind to its gifts, or to slow down enough to see them. Those who choose the latter discover that happiness is not elusive. It is here, now, in the details of the present moment, waiting for recognition. And once recognized, it multiplies until the entire day becomes a celebration of life itself. Enjoyment is often mistaken for ease, yet the two are not the same. Real enjoyment comes not from drifting aimlessly, but from exercising control over the direction of one's life. It requires discipline, for without discipline the mind wanders into complaint, the body succumbs to laziness, and the days dissolve into wasted potential. Discipline is not a restriction. It is a liberation. It frees you from the chains of impulse, from the tyranny of negativity, from the endless cycle of reacting rather than creating. To live with discipline is to hold the reins of your own existence firmly in your hands. There is no lasting joy without order. Just as a musician cannot create harmony without mastering scales, a person cannot create a fulfilling life without mastering themselves. The temptation of ease is ever present, the temptation to complain, to indulge in anger, to put off what must be done. These choices offer momentary relief, but they rob the future of strength. Discipline demands more at first. It insists that you control your thoughts, choose your words carefully, and act in alignment with your highest values. This may seem difficult, but the reward is immense, a life lived with intention rather than accident. The mind is the first arena where discipline must be practiced. Thoughts are slippery, and without control they spiral into patterns of worry, jealousy, or fear. But when you train the mind, you build a fortress against these intrusions. Every time you replace a negative thought with one of gratitude or purpose, you strengthen this fortress. Soon the habit becomes natural. Instead of surrendering to complaint, you look for solutions. Instead of feeding resentment, you practice understanding. This mental discipline allows joy to flow not because challenges vanish, but because you refuse to let them dominate. The same is true in action. To rise when the alarm rings, to begin the work without delay, to finish what you start. These are simple disciplines. Yet they separate those who drift from those who progress. Many allow feelings to dictate their actions, waiting until they feel motivated before they move. But discipline reverses the order. It says act first, and the feelings will follow. By choosing to do what is necessary, regardless of mood, you create momentum. Momentum breeds confidence, and confidence fuels joy. The person who acts with discipline ends each day with the quiet satisfaction of knowing their time was not wasted. Consider also the discipline of speech. Words are powerful, shaping not only the minds of others but your own. Careless words spread negativity, while disciplined words build encouragement and clarity. To speak with restraint, to choose kindness over bitterness, to offer truth rather than gossip. These practices elevate not only conversations but entire relationships. A disciplined tongue can turn conflict into understanding and can plant seeds of joy in others that return multiplied. Physical discipline, too, plays a role. The body is the vessel through which life is experienced, and neglecting it diminishes every aspect of existence. Choosing healthful habits, rest, exercise, nourishment, may seem like duties, but they are investments in the quality of each day. A strong body supports a clear mind, and together they create the energy necessary to live fully. Those who disregard discipline in the body often pay with fatigue, illness, and regret. Those who honor it enjoy vitality, resilience, and the ability to embrace life's opportunities. Discipline is often misunderstood as denial. It is not denial but direction. It does not strip life of pleasure, it multiplies it. For the one who has discipline enjoys not only the moment, but the confidence that tomorrow will be built on solid ground. There is joy in indulgence, yes, but it is fleeting. There is greater joy in mastery, for mastery endures. When you choose discipline, you are choosing freedom. The freedom to live life on your own terms, guided by purpose rather than impulse. There is a profound dignity in this way of living. Each day becomes meaningful, because each day is directed by conscious choice. You know where your time is going, you know why your efforts matter, and you know that even in small disciplines, you are shaping a life of value. This knowledge creates joy deeper than entertainment or distraction. It creates joy rooted in the assurance that life is not slipping away, but being lived to its fullest. The daily practice of discipline may seem demanding, but the alternative is far costlier. Without it, days blend into weeks, weeks into years, and suddenly life has passed without purpose. With it, each day builds upon the last, creating a foundation of strength, wisdom, and fulfillment. The discipline of thought, of action, of speech, and of care for the body together form the structure upon which a joyful life is built. And when this structure is strong, every day can be enjoyed not as a chance occurrence, but as the natural reward of a life well governed. Life opens its doors widest to those who decide. The act of decision is powerful, for it marks the moment when thought transforms into direction, and direction into destiny. Each day asks silently whether it will be lived consciously or allowed to drift away. To enjoy life, the choice must be made to live it fully. Not halfway, not hesitantly, but with deliberate intention. The hours slip quickly, and what is not chosen is often wasted. To rise in the morning and declare, "Today I will live with joy, with purpose, with gratitude," is to take command of the day before it takes command of you. Happiness is not something stumbled upon in a stroke of luck. It is built brick by brick through decisions made moment by moment. A person who waits to feel joyful before choosing joyful action will find themselves waiting indefinitely. But the one who decides to live joyfully in spite of circumstances discovers that joy is not a result but a cause. The choice to smile, to express gratitude, to give effort, and to notice beauty generates the very feelings many hope will arrive on their own. Action creates emotion, not the other way around. The mind is a battlefield where indecision can be the greatest enemy. How often do people lose the chance for happiness because they hesitate? They postpone gratitude. They delay action. They keep waiting for better conditions. Yet those better conditions rarely come. Joy belongs to the decisive, to the person who chooses now rather than later. Every day carries within it the possibility of happiness, but only if it is claimed. By deciding to act with courage, to embrace the moment, to see blessings even in hardship, a person steps into control of their own experience. Gratitude is central to this choice. No life is free from difficulty, but every life contains something worth appreciating. The decision to focus on what is good does not erase hardship, but it changes the way hardship is experienced. When gratitude is practiced deliberately, problems shrink to their proper size and opportunities expand to fill the vision. The decisive mind says, yes, challenges exist, but so do blessings, and I choose to see both. This balanced perspective prevents despair and opens the door to resilience. Each grateful thought plants a seed of joy that grows stronger with repetition. Determination is another companion of this decision. To enjoy life each day, one must be determined not to surrender joy to external forces. Weather, economy, opinions of others, even unexpected obstacles, none of these need dictate the spirit. The determined individual refuses to hand over their peace to chance. They carry within themselves an inner compass that points toward purpose, and with each deliberate decision to follow it, life gains clarity. Even small choices, a kind word instead of silence, effort instead of procrastination, patience instead of anger, build into a structure of joy that no storm can easily dismantle. The choice to live joyfully is also an act of courage. It is easier to complain, to follow the crowd in cynicism, to dwell on what is wrong. Cynicism is cheap, it costs nothing and produces nothing. Joy, on the other hand, requires courage to stand apart, to see possibility where others see only despair, to choose hope when the majority chooses doubt. The courageous decision to live with joy each day transforms not only the individual but also those around them. People are influenced by attitudes more than arguments, and the presence of one determined, joyful spirit can uplift an entire environment. There is also responsibility in this decision. Each person touches many lives, family, friends, colleagues, even strangers. The choice to live with joy is not a private matter alone, it radiates outward, shaping the experience of others. A word of encouragement spoken at the right time, a calm presence in difficulty, a genuine smile. These may seem small, yet they can alter the course of someone else's day entirely. By deciding to live fully and joyfully, you contribute not only to your own well-being but to the collective well-being of those around you. Consistency strengthens this choice. One joyful day may inspire, but it is the accumulation of many such days that builds a life of lasting fulfillment. Each day's decision reinforces the last, creating a rhythm of living that becomes second nature. Soon joy is no longer something you chase but something you carry. It becomes your natural state because the decision has been made so often that it no longer wavers. This consistency is the true secret. Choosing joy once is a beginning. Choosing it daily is a transformation. When a person truly decides to live joyfully, they unlock the deepest secret of life, that happiness is not given but created, not found but made. It is a work of art crafted through choices, discipline, and perspective. Every morning presents a fresh canvas, and with each stroke of gratitude, courage, and purpose, the day becomes a masterpiece. The decision lies within reach of all, regardless of circumstance. To take hold of it is to realize that the power to enjoy life every day has been in your hands all along. Every journey must reach a point of reflection, a moment where the lessons are gathered and the meaning is clear. The truth is simple, yet it carries with it the power to transform a life. Each day is a gift, and how we choose to use it determines the quality of our existence. To enjoy life is not a matter of waiting for the world to change or for circumstances to align. It is a matter of decision, of discipline, of awareness, and of gratitude. When we learn to notice the blessings that surround us, when we discipline our minds and actions to reflect our highest values, when we find joy not only in achievement but in the process of becoming, then life itself becomes extraordinary. The hours no longer slip by unnoticed. They become treasures, each one infused with meaning and purpose. The opportunity lies before you every morning. You can drift, allowing the day to pass as countless others have, or you can choose to live it with intention. You can decide to see beauty in the ordinary, to find progress in small steps, to practice gratitude in every circumstance, and to carry the quiet dignity of discipline. And in doing so, you will discover that joy is not hidden in the future, but present here and now. So let today be the beginning of a new way of living. Let it be the day you embrace life fully, with open eyes, with a grateful heart, and with a mind fixed on the possibilities ahead. For the secret has always been within your reach. To enjoy life every day is not only possible, it is the truest measure of success.